Hello, everyone. Welcome to tonight's mini Truth Tribe update. I'm Daune Thompson. I want to thank you all for being here and taking time out to just listen to the little inspiration of truth tonight. Remember that you are all perfect exactly where you are. There's nothing wrong with you. I love you very much. Truth Tribe is to illuminate your self-awareness of your health, of your wealth, and of your love. Tonight, we're going to focus on love. You don't need astrology charts to participate in Truth Tribe, but it sure helps for the self-awareness during planetary updates. So to learn the basics, if you don't know on how to read your chart, go to the I Deserve It membership at ideserveitnow.com, right on my homepage, up in the tools of the header or the homepage, just scroll down, you'll find it. So tonight, I want to touch on love, karma, and the contracts that we carry. You all have contracts embedded into your birth chart, and they're easy to see. So if you just pick any topic of life that you want, it's revealed in your birth chart. And tonight, I want you to understand you're focusing on love. It can count across the board on any contract. And love, I mean with anyone, any relationship. So a few weeks ago, we talked about karma and how you avoided, or how what you avoid will keep seeking you. Now we'll bring that into specifically relationships, because love isn't just romance, my friends. It's every connection where your soul made a contract to grow. So think of just one repeating pattern in your relationships, romantically, your family, or a friendship. What keeps showing up for you? Think about that pattern. You know the pattern, you see it, you keep repeating it. Okay? So when you think about your chart and your birth chart, where are the contracts? Let's go to the relationship houses. So if you have your chart, pull it out. In Lighthouse Astrology, as I teach, you have 12 rooms around you, and they're all in need of your attention. Relationships light up in two main categories, or the bigger houses. There are several, but these are the two main ones we can look at quickly. The fifth house, which is love and expression and romance. So how you give and receive love, joy, attraction, and romance. The seventh house is partnerships and contracts, business and or personal and professional. But we look for contracts there. Why? Because in marriage, living together, sharing bank accounts are relationship contracts. It's the karmic mirror. It's where soul contracts with others are going to show up. So for example, my Libra moon is in the fifth house, and it made me crave, because it's Libra, balance, harmony, approval, and love for so long. And while my Aquarius is the rebel Aquarian, right, the sun, but I had to go look in the seventh house, which was pulling me towards partnerships who challenged me to go into that rebel form, the status quo love stories. They didn't have to be like everyone else. And so I had to balance the two. Which of these houses, if you look at your two houses, which of the houses holds your patterns? Mine was in that fifth house, right? I was looking for something that I wasn't giving to myself, which is balance and neutrality and approval of myself. So look at the two houses, 5 and 7. Where are you being called to upgrade your experience of love? Okay. Then the next two things I want you to look at in your chart, which of the 12 houses, the soul's love codes, and the love codes are Venus and the moon. Venus is what you value, and how you will attract love. So it shows the love language that you naturally speak. Seems pretty basic. So look at your partner's love language. And then the moon. What makes you feel? Remember, the moon rules emotions. So what makes you feel safe emotionally in love? This is where you unconsciously sabotage if you don't own it and you don't know it. So an example, my Venus is in Pisces, which gives me these idealistic, dreamy love pictures, but it's also very investigative. And then my Libra moon would sabotage this great, beautiful, magnificent love by people pleasing. And once I asked myself, is this how I want to feel? Does self-sacrificing and feeling balanced, right? Does that self-sacrificing Pisces feel balanced for my emotional Libra? When I asked myself that question, those two I put into together, the contract shifted, right? So your karmic tie-in is what you avoid in these placements, you will seek, right? These placements, they will seek you, you will seek them until you grow. And if you avoid expressing your Venus, you're going to meet partners who test that. If you avoid your moon's emotional needs, you're going to attract those who mirror the wound until you feel into it. So your goal is feeling versus fixing. And true growth in love isn't about fixing other people. It's about owning how you want to feel. And having a script that we've talked to in so many truth tribes about of how to express that feeling to others without telling them who they need to be, because they will feel different in their Venus and their moon and their 5 and their 7. But there's a reason you're drawing them in. So ask yourself, does this feel loving? Does this conversation feel empowering? Because courage means asking yourself, what karmic contracts am I done replaying? It sits in your chart. What new frequency of love am I willing to embody? So let's just kind of open up. Even if you don't have your chart, close your eyes for a minute. Close your eyes and bring your mind, if you know your chart, to your 5th, 7th house settings or your Venus and your moon, okay? And imagine one repeating relationship pattern that sits there. Even if you don't know your chart, what is your pattern when your eyes are closed in love? Now I want you to imagine courageously asking, is this how I want to feel? And then see yourself choosing a higher frequency of love, shining like a lighthouse, and allowing new contracts to meet you there. Okay, open your eyes. This is your action step. Okay, I want you to write down one repeating relationship contract that you've carried from your 5, 7 house, 5th and 7th, Venus or moon. Then write it into a new contract of how you choose to feel moving forward. Your chart doesn't show you. It doesn't just show you the love that you've lived and the patterns and all the problems. It reveals the love that you came here to grow into. And when you choose self-love over avoidance, you fulfill the contract that your soul signed up for and contracted to grow. Okay? So it's that simple. Just look at you. So let's do a little planetary update reminder, okay? There was a lunar eclipse in Pisces. We've discussed this a couple times on September 7th, okay? That total lunar eclipse landed at 15 degrees Pisces. So remember, you got to look for the Pisces house in your chart and see where the theme is present. It's going to bring up deep release, emotional healing, releasing self-sacrificing, people-pleasing, encouraging you surrendering and trusting in your intuitions. Pisces rules your intuition. The Pisces eclipse is about letting go of what no longer fits, dissolving illusions, and clearing space for clarity. Ending any victim mindset for creative opportunity mindset. Okay. Then on the 21st, there's a solar eclipse, another new moon in Virgo, remember, and that solar eclipse is at the last degree of Virgo, 29 degrees. 29 is an anuretic degree, meaning it's like a frenzied feeling. I have to complete this. So it's going to close out any last health work, any last body work, any last detox that's needed for closure to say goodbye. Bye-bye. It's the cosmic reset button, my friends, for your health, your habits, your self-worth. Virgo energy highlights your daily habits. What are you going to do daily? How will you nourish your body, care for yourself, manage your routines that fulfill you? that love you. And so the eclipse reveals where your perfectionism comes in, over criticism comes in, neglect that's been sabotaging your well-being, and it's going to invite you into a new beginning rooted in self-care and compassion. So remember, this whole September eclipse season is a simple story of releasing what doesn't work and in releasing those contracts and resetting. Okay, so that Pisces blood moon on the 7th is surrender your emotional baggage and the bullshit illusions and delusions you've been holding on to. There's nothing wrong with you. You're perfect. Then Virgo, the sign of perfection, steps in on the 21st, and then it grounds you, helps you restructure your daily life, picks you, your routines, self-care, so they match your true worth and your true self-love. Okay? Everybody tap here and repeat after me into the thymus, into the nervous system, your immunity. I am courage. I am love. I am truth. I know courage. I know love. And I know truth. All right, my friends, remember to like, share, and invite a friend to this. If you want to replay it and send it to someone, it will be in the replay within a week, if not in a few days in YouTube. I want to remind you, I'll be back soon. I'll be back next week, so we can update our lives. And I hope you enjoyed this. Remember, the links and all the community discussions are both in the IDI Center as well as the Facebook Truth Tribe communities, community walls. If you need a copy of your birth chart to see these planets, go to my website, ideserveitnow.com. You can go to Free Astro there. If not, if you guys are ready to dive, go all in on your self-awareness journey and you want to get to know yourself so well, it takes you diving into you. Join the VIP I Deserve It membership. You get everything that I've done from basic all the way up to advanced, and it gives you the option to joining in a few months when we launch our Soul Masters 180. Okay. So if you want to take that step, go jump onto my website, ideserveitnow.com, and join the I Deserve It membership all access pass. Again, if you're listening to this after any of the live sessions, YouTube or Spotify, all the links that I discussed are in the notes below. You guys have a wonderful week. I love you all. Brightest blessings. Thanks for joining. Take care. Have a good night.